Hi, welcome to the Wired
and Rewired podcast, a podcast all about the hit HBO series, The Wire.
I'm Chris, and this is my 1000th time watching The Wire.
And this is Ellie. It's my first.
All right, might as well tell you, we started once already. I messed it up, and we started again. So we're going to be a little loopy in this episode. But anyway, if you're new to the force or a longtime veteran, we think you'll find something here to enjoy. Today we are covering Season 4, Episode 9, Know Your Place. And as always, we begin by popping a recap. Poot returns to the corner after a stint in prison and is welcomed back by Herc and Dozerman. Carcetti engages in a testy budget battle with City Council President Campbell, rewards Daniel with a promotion, and hits a snag in his efforts to relieve Burrell of his duties. Bubbles fingers a witness for Herc, but the detective is slow to return the favor. While Prez is frustrated by the imposition of training for statewide tests in his curriculum, Colvin motivates his class by offering a dinner incentive to his student groups. Randy puts the math skills he learned in class to work on the street. His success allows him to get Prez to bankroll his candy business. While Michael turns to Marlo for help with a problem, Old-Face Andre turns to Proposition Joe for protection against Marlo. The episode was written by Kia Corthron, and it was directed by Alex Zakharitsky. I think this is their first time in each of the roles. So okay. Interesting combination today. The episode premiered on November 12th, 2006. All right, Ellie, why don't you kick us off by busting out that epigraph?
Might as well dump him, get another, said by Prop Joe.
Yep, you can't dump me now. Ellie, we're too far into that.
I know. Sorry. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, you're stuck. You're stuck with me. All right. Well, before we get into the recap, let us go through your predictions.
All right.
Well, you got this one exactly right. Omar will get out, and we'll try to find out who Marlo is.
Yeah.
Boom. Got it right on the money.
Okay.
Prop Joe will double-cross Marlo. Unfortunately, missed kind of went the exact opposite way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I don't think he trusts Marlo very well, but I get the sense that
he's still sticking with this co-op thing we do for each other.
Yeah, exactly. Bubbles worried that he will start using again, which we don't see.
No.
So
no.
Kima did say that he looked like shit, and he said, "I'm keeping it clean." Now, I don't know if that's anyway, we don't. Either way, we don't know.
I just thought he'd be affected more by Sherrod's departure. That's what I thought would cause him to take a downward turn, but that didn't come up at all.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Michael will give Parlo a call. Boom. Got that. Wants to be now. You said he wants to be armed to protect himself, but nevertheless, you got it right.
Okay.
So good job there. Colvin gets the kids in class to work together. Another one. We'll see more cooperation. Yes. Good job. You still don't think they'll be able to get to Burrell out. Got that one too. And Lex's murder. Will the location come out? A body will be found in one of the houses. No, so no one knows. But otherwise, a really terrific episode, set of predictions there for you.
Okay, I feel like this is going to be like me thinking that they would find out who the woman in season 2 was.
Oh.
And I was like, they're going to find it out. And I was like, oh, God, they're not going to find it out. Is that going to be the same for Lex? I don't know.
If they found out who the season 2 woman was, that would be very anti The Wire.
It's true. This makes me think they'll never find Lex's body.
Okay, well we will see. But the season's not yet over. We've still got 4 after this, or so.
We do.
Anyway, there's not a lot of references to this one, and stay here that I think the one thing that's interesting about this season is I feel like the threads that they started didn't really get a lot of momentum. I think it was like either episode 7 or 8 where it really started moving forward. This one feels much, this one in last episode felt much more like kind of moving the plot forward.
Yes.
And so I feel like there was less kind of, less to pull out from, interesting side bits and so on and so forth. So which I just think is kind of interesting. So just for this particular string of episodes, just I don't know if this matters at all, but episodes 8, 9, and 10 don't have any commentary. So I wonder if they just felt like let's move through these, get everybody to the kind of past the middle part of the season, and now
kind of getting to the climax of the season.
So anyway, just something to note, I guess, and then but I think that's all I've got. So if there's anything else from you, we can get started.
Well, yeah. Okay. So, oh my gosh, I had a hard time teasing out the threads for this one because we are at that point in the season where everything is starting to weave together, right? So this is starting to happen. So here's what I've got. Hopefully everything will work out in some kind of an order. We've got, with Carcetti and politics, we've got shake up at the top.
Okay.
A ham-handed Herc. Oh my God, Herc. I'd kill him.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to focus on some of the boys here. So focus on Namond, not the same heart. Randy likes maths now. Gonna go to Michael with Stepdad Stress. And then we'll go to Prez, who is teaching to the test. Kima, and bye-bye Andre.
Okay.
All right. So let's start with the shakeup at the top. Carcetti meets with the city leaders to talk about Baltimore's problems before he takes office. We hear from Norman Wilson, if you make it safe, they will come. We know from the people that are there that funds are drying up for different programs. Carcetti is floating the idea of putting casinos on the waterfront. You know, the new Stephen Demper, I don't know what his name is.
Oh, Bond.
Yeah, Bond is like, well, that just means more crime. And the council president, whose name is, I can do this. No, I can't. What's her name?
Nerese Davis.
Yes, Nerese Davis. Says, okay, no, you're just taking money from poor people. No, thank you. And so they shut down those ideas. They're going to go with a harbor promenade instead. The council president, wait, is her last name not Campbell?
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
Okay, I
right.
do have
sorry.
Campbell here.
I'm
okay.
sorry. Gosh, where
Campbell
did
thinks it's kind of shady that Carcetti wants to raise the commissioner's salary by $50,000. He says that at some point when they're talking about all of these things they need to be able to fund, when Burrell is doing a terrible job. And, you know, should Burrell leave, Carcetti says they'll need that bump in the pay to get a really good candidate from a nationwide search. Campbell says, why would he want to leave with 3 years left on his term? She is pretty angry and aggressive during this conversation. He makes light of it at one point, and they sort of laugh. It's very uncomfortable. Later in private, she tells Carcetti that Royce was setting her up to be his successor, and she is angry that Carcetti and Gray, she feels, jumped the line. And I guess maybe she had been coached to sit this one out. It would be that Royce would go another term and then she would take over. Carcetti's surprised. He says he didn't know about this, but he does hint that she might still end up being mayor in a couple of years if he ends up running for governor. There you go.
You and me, we got a problem already?
Just trying to help guide you through the process, Mr. Mayor. Elect.
Felt more like you were dragging me across a minefield, Nerese. Why are you so pissed off at me?
Look, Clarence shouldn't have run again for any number of reasons. I was ready to step up, and the deal was cut long ago that he'd back me when the time came. You and Tony, you guys jumped the line. It wasn't your turn.
Whoa. First of all, I'm sorry if Tony and I ruined your party plans, but I wasn't privy to whatever you and Clarence cooked up. That aside, I was kind of looking forward to working closely together. I think that we could make things happen.
You're only getting the one term, Tommy. I'm not gonna stand down next time.
What makes you think I'll even be around that long? Governor's race is in 2 years, and plans can change. You might find yourself mayor in 2008 without so much as a campaign speech.
What do you think of the interaction between the two of them?
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I like the kind of spiciness. I got a little nervous when he said, I was looking forward to working closely with you, because then I'm like, oh, is he talking about something sexual? But hopefully not.
What are the odds? What are the odds?
What are the odds? With him, pretty high. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she is, you know, if you remember from earlier in the season when she just walks by the security guard.
Yes.
Sorry, no, it was, what's his name? Hoskins.
Yes.
He says, you know, Madam President. She just like looks at him.
Yes.
She is ice cold. Man.
She is.
And she is really giving him the business, which is kind of amazing.
Yes, I love it.
So it's you know, and it's funny because I think that, you know, Carcetti figures out that, you know, that there's some underlying tension there. So I think he does well by like trying to get it out on the table.
Right.
But it is interesting how you can just run into obstruction right away for potentially no real good reason.
Exactly.
You know,
No
just
offense you know of.
Yeah, exactly. Just pure, what's it called, bitterness or whatever. So that's kind of interesting. And then I did want to mention this one catch from Alan Sepinwall. He said one of the most telling bits of throwaway dialogue when Carcetti is meeting with a real estate developer to find a project he can slap his name on. The guy mentions that the marine terminal, quote, unfortunately is still a working enterprise.
Oh,
so, of course, he would say,
yeah.
unfortunately, because in his worldview, places of blue-collar employment exist only to be converted into expensive homes and playgrounds for white-collar
Right.
people. So, just thought that was... It's just funny how they can throw in that bit of dialogue and have it just carry so much weight.
Oh,
So,
yeah, for sure. That's amazing.
Yeah. So, and then it just last bit, like, I think the connection from the last episode when the Democratic committee person came in and said, you might take it back to State House. Now Carcetti, it got his hooks into him.
Yep.
So now that's where he's thinking.
You got to build something.
Yep.
Okay. Well, Carcetti, Norman, and Watkins all agree they cannot fire Burrell outright. It's going to look bad to have a white mayor firing a black commissioner. They wonder if they can shame him maybe into leaving. So Carcetti meets for lunch with Burrell and tries to nudge him into stepping down. He basically tells him he has no faith in him anymore. And I know you follow the chain of command, so here we go. I'm the one who tells you what to do. They talk a little bit about, Rawls is running things now. Sort of. He tells Burrell that Rawls isn't allowed to make any moves without his approval. But Burrell refuses to resign. He says he will only go if he's fired. And if Rawls is just going to be doing his job anyways, he's just going to go play golf, shoot 9 holes. So it looks like Burrell's staying in place for the time being.
Resign.
Either that or the day-to-day running of the department falls to the deputy commissioner for operations. Irv, I have made no secret of wanting to make changes.
Oh, so Bill Rawls is now the voice of reform, is he?
This isn't about Rawls. I have no faith in you, given recent events, and I know you remember the two of us sitting in this same booth a year ago, you telling me about how you respect the chain of command. Well, respect it now.
Every department head serves at the pleasure of the mayor. So, if you're firing me, Mr. Mayor, I want you to know I will go quietly.
You'll tender your letter of resignation.
Oh, no. I'm not offering to resign. If you want me to go, you're gonna have to shit-can me. A small distinction, I know, but in the meantime, since you have Bill Rawls doing my job for me, it's such a nice day out. I think I'll go to Forest Park and shoot 9. Check is yours, I think.
Yeah, and I think that the important thing is to kind of recognize that I guess I'm projecting here, but I feel like he is of the same mindset that Nerys was in the meeting when saying that it's going to upset a lot of my constituents.
Yes.
And he knows this.
Yes.
So that's why he's like, I won't argue if you fire me, but you're going to have to fire me.
You're the one that's going to have
now
to
he's
turn
got
it
all the
ugly.
leverage. Yeah. Which I didn't realize until just now, but Sidner says to Dozerman, do you guys know what leverage is? And it's like Burrell has basically all of it at this point. And Carcetti played it so that Burrell is getting the highest salary in the police department and doesn't have to do anything at all. So just awful, but also kind of funny.
I know, right?
And then I'll just mention one little note, which I just found fascinating, is that when it's Watkins and Carcetti and Norman and they're talking, they're backlit, and Carcetti is almost dark. He's almost like a silhouette, which I was trying to figure out, like.
You're right.
What is
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem or anything. I just thought it was a fascinating choice. I'm wondering if there was some, something they were trying to do with that. But anyway, it just caught me this time. They're all 3 backlit, but then there's a close up, I think, only on Carcetti. So just thought that was kind of a fascinating choice. So anyway, maybe he's in the dark. He's in the dark about how this works.
There you go. I like that.
Okay.
And I think a bit of a callback at the end of that scene too, when Burrell lets Carcetti pick up the tab, right? Because before they had lunch and Burrell was very much like, no, I've got this.
Right.
Like, I take care of my own, and just to make sure he was not in anybody's pocket. But
it's
now
a great
he's
call.
kind of like,
great call.
F you. Okay, so Carcetti meets with Rawls. He's got 2 promotions in mind. Valchek, who, he's a hack, but he's Carcetti's hack. Can he get into the deputy commissioner of administration position and not do too much damage? Yeah. All right, great. So that is where Valchek will go. And then Cedric Daniels to CID to replace Forrester as colonel. And he tells him he wants Daniels to overhaul investigations. Rawls is a little taken aback, but keeps it pretty, level. So Cedric Daniels, you got a problem with him? He has a little independent streak, but he's fine. No, I can work with him. Yeah, I can work with him. And kind of finishes up with Rawls wanting to know why I think he says something like, can I ask why keep Burrell when you can just fire him? And I think Wilson says something like, no, you can't ask, or something like that. Basically, it's none of your beeswax.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, he said, I hope you don't mind me asking.
Yes.
And then
we do mind.
Norman says, we mind you asking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that there's an interesting tell here, which is that Rawls doesn't see the political landscape the way that Burrell does.
Right.
So,
Right.
Yeah. And then the comment about Daniels and the independent streak, I think is interesting too. Right. And so I think that Rawls, in saying that, I think he was trying to get a read on Carcetti and whether that would be a problem for Carcetti. And because they didn't seem to object, Rawls backed down immediately. But if it, and so anyway, because I mean, I think obviously we know where it's going, right?
Right.
And Rawls, I don't think, sees it. And then so by having so by having an independent, somebody who's more independent means that he can shine more or whatever, outshine Rawls if he has the opportunity.
You're right.
So I think.
Yeah. No,
so.
I think you're right. Okay, let's see here. We've got Daniels and Perlman. They're at this apartment they share. Rhonda asks Daniels if it's okay for her to go and see him get promoted, and quickly he realizes, as a good partner would, that what she wants to hear is that he wants her there. And so he gives her that reassurance. He shares that, he can hardly believe that they're both getting ahead by having done the right thing, really. Like, it's actually working. Oh my God. He tells Perlman that maybe Baltimore can turn things around now. And they toast to Carcetti and to themselves. Very sweet scene.
Yep. Yeah, not much to it.
Okay.
Except that, you gotta wonder, like, Daniels wants to believe so bad.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I do love too that Rhonda does that very typical woman thing. Like, can you read my mind? Oh, it's so good. I've done that to my husband so many times.
I have no idea what that's like.
Yes, but do you want me to be there? Not can I be there? Okay. So let me see here. So she, Rhonda, Carver, Greg, Sidner, they all show up for this ceremony for Daniels. Burrell, not knowing what's happening, mutters to Rawls that Valchek, that one was predictable, but Daniels? And when Rawls walks off, this is when Burrell has the realization, I think, that Carcetti has his black replacement ready to take his job.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he's done. Yeah, the same face basically as last time when he said we were a good team, and then when Rawls basically walks away again, he just does that same disappointed face. So
yeah.
I really like the scene with Daniels and his kind of proteges. It's just a really nice scene because it feels like it's a long time coming for all of them.
Yes,
and so they all kind of get to celebrate with Daniel's success.
I know, it's great. The team.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's get to Ham-handed Herc then.
Okay,
this one kind of weaves in a bit of other stuff too, with Poot and Bubbles and a little Kev. Okay, so this is actually how the episode begins, I think, right? With Sponge Killer Kevin trying to tell Bodie about how funny Gary, the little snail pet that's like a cat of SpongeBob, is. And Bodie just does not get it. He's just like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah.
And I have to agree. Gary is adorable and hilarious. Okay. Poot, though. I couldn't believe Poot came back. I texted Chris.
Yeah.
I was like, Poot.
Text from Ellie. First one this season, I think.
I kind of forgotten about him.
Right.
couldn't believe it. So he comes back after 15 months in jail, we find out. There are some introductions of who Poot is, some jokes about Poot's sex life. And Bodhi fills him in on how Marlo has muscled in and taken over. You know, Poot's a little disappointed, but really he doesn't care. You know, he says a boss is a boss.
Yep.
So he is going to be working with Bodhi on this corner now. Herc and Dozerman roll up later, and they are looking for little Kevin to question him about Lex's murder. But nobody will say what their names are. Herc does recall Bodhi and Poot from before, so he knows them. He, you know, asks little Kev, and little Kev says, "Do I look little?" Yep. So, no, okay, well, then it's not him. And since he only recognizes Bodhi and Poot, he basically grabs anyone 5'6" and 150 pounds or less and tosses him in the wagon. They scoop up 4 of the smallest kids. Herc and Dozerman just are doing whatever they have no idea that the real little Kev is right there, you know. And so they leave, and then Kevin, Bodhi, and Poot walk off and laugh about how dumb the cops are.
Yep.
There you go.
Hey, look, see, this is what's wrong with the justice system right here. Niggas get locked up and they don't stay that way. Damn, make it hard to take this shit serious. What, you snitching and something?
Shit, nah, man. You know they only gave me like 4, right? You know what I'm saying? I done 15 months. So with good time, I'm like, man, what the fuck? Shit.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, man, it ain't like it was, but it'll do.
So who we slinging for?
Marlo Stanfield.
Come.
Yo, man, yeah, I was getting this nice package from Slim Charles, but Marlo got the muscle to hold us down, so that's where we at.
Shit, one ball same as the next, man.
Hey, yo, Lil Kev. I told you about the boy Poot, right?
Yeah.
So what
Pussy
you
ham. You just home? How long in?
15 months.
You got laid yet?
Shit, I think I already been burnt. Shit, I might need to ride to the clinic today. Yo, I see ain't shit changed around this joint.
On the wall, gents. Make this easy on all of us. Which one of you is little Kevin? Come on, fellas. It ain't no big deal. We just need some FaceTime with the motherfucker.
Your name, Kevin?
Now, this is,
Poot. I'm Poot, yo.
Poot, right? Yeah. Didn't you get locked up or shot or something?
Society say I deserve another change.
Yeah, let's see. Which one of these dickheads here is little Kevin?
Man, I don't know no Kevin.
Society could bite my dick. Come on, Baldy. I know this kid works up here with you.
What's your name?
Do I look little to you?
All right, fuck this. Everyone under 150 pounds or 5'6" is in the cab. You, and you. And unless I see birth certificates saying otherwise, you're my little Kevin. And if that don't get it, we're coming the fuck back. All right?
You got any paper on you?
Man, fuck if I know. These police out here knew how to flip it even just a little. I should have been in handcuffs. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Poot's return is so great.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's great to see
So funny.
Bodhi and his kind of connection back.
Yes.
You know, I think I already been burnt. It's great stuff.
Yeah. Bert.
Yeah, but anyway, and it is interesting, I think, to compare that to with the little Kevin conversation at the beginning. It felt a little bit reminiscent of the crew that Bodhi was part of when he first started.
Right.
There were kids and so
Yeah.
on and so forth. So it's just kind of, I think it just kind of reminds us all that, a lot of these people on the corners are kids.
Yep.
So anyway,
Yeah.
they're still, halfway in one world and halfway in the other.
For sure. Okay, this is a related aside. Bubbles finds Greg's.
Okay.
He had a hard time finding her now that she is in homicide. He tells her about the junkie who keeps beating him up and robbing him, looking at him like he's an ATM. And she says, I can't help you now. I'm in homicide. I'm not a narco anymore. And they look all over. He gets in the car. They're driving all over. They cannot find him. She's like, I got to work.
Yeah.
I'm on shift. So she tells him she will call Sidner or Herc in major crimes because those guys are doing drug work. And then she takes him home so she knows where he lives and can share that with Herc or Sidner.
Wasn't easy tracking you down. Knock on numbers I got for you don't work no more.
I see you got a problem. Looking rough, Bubs.
I've been keeping it clean, you know? Pushing my carts and all. But there's one young man, every time I cross him, I get taught for what I got on me. Cash, pills. When he look on me like an ATM or some shit, I swear. I'm ready to work, Kima. Get this motherfucker off me, I'll do what you need.
Look at me, Bubs. Ain't a knocko.
Yeah, I see. Look nice.
I'm working homicide.
So the bad boy having to kill me, you can help me out then, right?
We drive around a bit. You think you can put eyes on this motherfucker?
I can try.
So then later, Herc meets Bubbles at his domicile and mentions that he is looking for little Kevin. So Bubbles is going to use the trick that he has used before, where he pretends to sell hats and he will put the red one onto Kevin while Herc watches. Herc remembers. He said, okay, the hat trick, got it. And Bubbles reiterates he really needs help with this guy. He can't take these beatings anymore. You can hear the desperation in his voice. And, Herc says, all right, if that happens, you just call me and I will come and help you.
All we got is little Kevin.
Bodie's boy, huh?
What did I tell you? Bubs gets it the first time. Yeah.
You know what? Y'all meet up with me in the afternoon tomorrow after school lets out, and I'll give Kevin a new hat.
The hat trick? Cool.
Herc, man.
What's up?
It's not about the money this time. He break me every day unless I give him something. I can't take it anymore, man.
Once we're done with Kevin, you go find this asshole. Hit my cell phone. I'll be on him 5 minutes later. I promise.
Okay. Herc and Dozerman finally see the real little Kevin thanks to Bubbles' hat trick. The biggest one on the crew, right? Like, oh my God, it's an ironic name, right? It's a joke. And so it's all good. Herc has his promise. He'll come within 5 minutes the next time that the guy attacks him. Okay. That night, Bubbles spots the guy in an alley and he calls Major Crimes from a payphone. He leaves a message with Dozerman for Herc to come now. He says, I can hold him here. And in his mind, 5 minutes.
Yep.
Herc's going to be there.
That's
That's what he said. But Herc is in the meantime grilling little Kevin about Lex's murder. And for what? It is a pointless interrogation. Little Kevin says, oh yeah, I knew Lex when he was around. I knew him then, but he left. And Dozerman gives the message to Herc to call Bubbles back, says he's got the guy there. He tells him, tell him I'll call him back. So Dozerman goes to reach the phone, realizes Bubbles, he doesn't have a phone. I can't call him back. So in the meantime, Bubbles is there trying to get trying to bait the guy to keep him around so he can be arrested. He sees the patrol car coming. He makes his move. He thinks it's Herc. So he's like, okay, he basically invites the beating onto his person instead of just, going after his stuff. But it is not Herc. And whoever the officer is does not even notice that the fight is going on and Bubbles gets very badly beaten. Oh, it was very hard to watch. I was just super upset and I was going to text you again and be like, if Bubbles dies, I'm done. Okay? I'm out.
Okay.
I am out. He better be okay tomorrow. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Okay. Meanwhile.
Sorry, because you've gone through a lot. I do
okay.
want to just cover a
Go
couple
ahead.
of things.
Yeah. And then I'll talk about Sidner's reaction.
Okay. So first of all, got to back all the way up.
Okay.
So Bubs and Kima.
Yes.
So just first of all, like the dynamic is always enjoyable. But when she says, I'm working homicide now, and he says, if he kills me, then you'll help me then, which
Yeah,
I thought was a great
exactly.
line. And then I liked her line of, if I drive you around, you think you put eyes on this motherfucker. I enjoyed that as well.
Yeah.
And then, I think it's just the handoff, and I don't know, it's so interesting to think about, like, Kima can't really help Bubbles anymore. So she gives him with the best intentions to this guy that when Herc was working with Kima and Carver, he was essentially pretty reliable.
Yes.
But on his own, he is this fucking disaster.
Right.
So there's that too.
Yeah.
And he, and again, this is all, we mentioned this a few times, like, this is all in service of protecting his reputation and his rank. It has very little to do with actual crime solving.
Exactly.
So that's kind of, again, it's just really frustrating. And then just the last little bit is when that police car drives by and Bubbles sees it drive by, he lets out this like wail and just like this panic, and it is awful. It is. I mean,
It
so
is.
you just, God,
it
I
is.
cannot
It's
believe it.
so hard to watch. Like when I did my rewatch, I had to fast forward through that scene. I just was like, I have enough
terrible.
notes on it. I'm not gonna watch it again.
Yeah, and it just was the worst possible. Because like, had the police car not rolled by, he would have stayed hidden. You know, I think the only nitpick was like, don't hang up the phone, Bubs. Like, wait until her confirms.
Yes.
But,
or just leave it like.
Or give him a phone number to call back on to confirm. But what are you gonna do? Like,
right.
Herc was so like, I'll be on him 5 minutes later.
He did. He said it.
Yep. So all right, enough. Okay, let's not dwell on this anymore. Let's get past it.
I hate him. I hate him. All right, let me see here. So in the meantime, Herc has gotten nowhere with little Kevin, right? Sidner walks out in disgust, telling Dozerman basically that they have no leverage, right? They have no body. They have nothing, no charges. So this is a pointless interrogation. Herc tries to bluff, says, oh, I have a witness that saw you at the scene, and can identify you. And then little Kevin says, you mean Randy?
Oof.
And the camera just stays on him for a moment while the rest of us just put that together.
Yep.
And Herc's reaction is just enough of a pause for you to know that he's right.
Right.
Right? So he gave it away.
Yep.
Right? And then he just like, well, I'm the one that's asking the questions, but he doesn't who's a Randy? I don't know what the F you're talking about. Like, oh my God, he's such an idiot.
Yeah.
So now little Kevin knows Randy is a snitch.
Yep.
So it's not good.
No.
It's me, fuckhead. We know you were there. We know you set him up, and we know you didn't do it alone.
Say what?
You weren't alone in this. We know that.
You mean Randy?
I'm asking you questions, remember? If you don't give us this murder, Kevin, somebody else will. And when they do, they'll be putting you in. You hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, and it just reminded me just now about when Daniels was talking about his command and how they weren't properly trained, and this is exactly that. It's like he doesn't have any interrogation technique and experience, but he thinks he does, and that's the worst of it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Sidner's disgust is well placed.
Yep. And he tried to kind of slow him down, but
no. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna get to Namond now.
Okay.
Not the same heart. So much to live up to. Okay, Booty and Poot. Oh, sorry. Bodie and Poot. God.
I think that might have been the first. No, I think it's the second time.
I'm pretty sure I've done that before. Bodie and Poot show Namond his new territory after Namond's mom pushed Bodie into giving him more work. And Bodie asks too. He's like, "Are you really ready to work?" He says, "Yes, I'm ready." And he says, well, you got to keep your mom out of your business. And, this is it. This is the extent of my help for you. Poot is very unimpressed that this guy is Weebay's kid. And so.
Yeah, man. All right. So what I'm saying is that you got from Bentlow down there to Rosewood right here. All right? Now, I got the block from Monroe all the way down to Payson, so I got you covered from that side. But you got to put lookouts in Franklin to catch anybody coming from the other way.
All right, I got you.
You ready to work?
Yeah, just get my re-up. We going about this shit for real.
No. Are you ready to work?
Yeah, ready to work.
Hey, Donut, go talk to Lil Kevin for me. Watch the ride. Hey, yo, look. Man, please do not be having your mama come talk for you.
Man, I ain't have her do nothing. She just get on the horse and come with it.
Look, I done did everything I can for you and yours, but from here on, your moms can't do nothing to help. All right?
Him? From Weebay?
Anything to say about that before I get... Okay, let's go to the special class. And at school, the corner kids are getting a team challenge. They are getting... It looks like erector sets, basically. And they have to build a model of their major landmarks. No instructions. Whoever finishes the fastest wins dinner downtown, any restaurant that they can agree on. They're kind of I think, in groups of 3. There is an incredible amount of arguing, a lot of name calling, even throwing the pieces around the room. One goes right by Parenti's head. Namond, Zenobia, and Darnell, however, divide and conquer. They take it on in parts, and they end up building an Eiffel Tower that looks pretty good. There are extra pieces. Namond pulls them and puts them into his pocket. And Colvin's suspicious. He knows the extra pieces are in Namond's pocket, but he's kind of smiling about it, and he decides to let them win.
Done.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Go ahead, touch it, baby. That shit built to last.
What about the extra pieces?
What extra pieces?
What's in your pocket?
Ain't nothing in my pocket. So, who cook a good steak around here?
All right.
Yeah, it's a... You know, they talked about some of the... What's the word? Like the psychological kind of issues that each of the kids has.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how the issues for Namond and Zenobia and Darnell were, I think, all they were compatible more than some of the other ones were. So, but I feel like that was maybe mostly random.
Yeah.
Random chance. So anyway, just kind of. I wonder how well that experiment would work if they kind of repeated it or something like that.
Yeah.
Would the kids learn to work together a little bit better, that kind of thing.
Yep.
So we'll have to see. But I would, then of course you'll talk about the next stage and just, I don't know, coming out of the scene, did you feel like they were turning up the corner to some degree or anything, or something like that?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it wasn't there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Could have been lucky.
Yeah.
Is all it is.
Yeah, I do, and then just the last bit is like you're starting to see this kind of bond form between Colvin and this kind of little trio here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yep.
Well, Colvin takes him to Ruth's Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And at first they are very excited, right? They're kind of talking about what they're going to eat and what it means to have a rare steak. And, Namond even likes the Billie Holiday music in the car. Oh my God, there's a waiter? What?
Mm-hmm.
But once they get inside, the fancy vibe freaks them out. They don't know how to act. They get overwhelmed. What's the difference between a hostess and a waiter? You're supposed to give them their jackets or not. They're laughing too loud. People are going to look at us. So it's really only a few minutes that they are in the restaurant before they are completely off kilter.
Yep. And
ultimately, it's a weird vibe. It's like disappointed, ashamed. It's really hard to name it, the weirdness that they display.
Mm-hmm.
But they do go through the dinner. It's really funny to hear the waitress giving them all of the specials with all of these foods that they probably never heard of, right?
Yeah.
Sir?
That's your chair, right? No. You sit there.
The waitress will be here soon to detail the specials of the day. Enjoy.
Thank you. Waitress? Who was that? That's the hostess.
Hey, you ain't got to worry, Mrs. C. I ain't gonna run up your bill. I'll just get whatever's on special.
It ain't no Kmart Blue Light Special, dumbass. Special just mean they cook something different.
Well, what about you? Drinking without a straw, ghetto and shit.
You don't drink water with a straw. And put that on your lap, fool. You see anybody else up in here looking all Fred Flintstone and shit?
Shh. Oh, shut it down. Other people be looking at us.
Hello, my name is Pam. I'd like to tell you about our specials for the day. We have king salmon with sweet corn, chanterelles, and basil aioli, sauteed free-range chicken served with mashed potatoes, fresh Chesapeake Bay blue crab, roasted garlic, shallot cream, and hen of the woods mushrooms, and wood oven roasted quail with grilled sipling bread salad.
Dang, I thought y'all had steak.
Oh, we do, on the second page of your menus. May I get your drink orders?
Yeah, we'll take 4 Cokes, please.
Right away.
Thank you.
So they go through the dinner. Afterwards, they're outside. They're kind of quiet. Colvin says, well, you wanted a photo, right? Let's, take a photo. No, it's fine. I need to get home. So Colvin just takes a photo of the restaurant itself without anybody in it. And not only do they refuse the photo, Darnell then asks if he can go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
That fish didn't sit well with him. And they get in the car, and it's not Billie Holiday anymore. Namond blasts some hip hop. And even though Colvin tells him to turn it down, he doesn't turn it down. Darnell and Zenobia get into it again. So yeah, it just kind of falls apart at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So did you make the connection with Dee and Donette from season 1?
Yes,
Okay.
totally. Yes.
Okay.
That was very much what was on my mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was that, obviously. And, a couple of notes, I guess, is that the hostess pulls the chair out for Zenobia.
Yeah.
And then she gets her own chair.
Yes.
And then, so there was that. And then, so you're just seeing this kind of fish out of water behavior, which is kind of a step further than it was with Donette and D'Angelo. Although I guess when the guy brought out that little thing and for the crumbs or whatever, it caught him off guard. But in any case, but I just wanted to mention that I really felt like it was a remarkable turn by the actors, right? That you could just see the discomfort in their face. So
no, they were great.
And I think in some ways, I think embarrassed or maybe belittled is kind of the way that I think that's what I was getting from it, because you just really feel like, even though I think they took care, the show took care not to make it seem like people were condescending, they still felt smaller, right? The kids still felt smaller because they didn't understand anything that was happening.
Yes.
And I think the fact that it was all in English, right? It wasn't a different language or anything like that.
Right.
They felt like maybe they should be understanding.
We should be able to figure out what this stuff is.
Yeah. I feel like if I had one kind of nitpick here, it's that I feel like Colvin probably could have stepped in here and said, okay, guys, look, let me explain what's happening here.
Yeah.
So you guys don't feel, and then like if Darnell's like, he doesn't want fish. I mean, I don't know. But on the other hand, I guess as I say that, they don't want to be treated like kids. So
and I think too, like he was kind of observing to see how they would react, right?
That's a good
because
point.
he does have, what he shares later with Parenti.
Oh, that's a really good point.
So I wonder if part of him was just kind of seeing what happens when they are fish out of water.
Maybe so. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
Yeah,
okay.
Those actors though do such a good job of. I felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
The whole time I was watching them, like, oh God, yeah, this is terrible.
Yeah. And Hen of the Woods and Chanterelle, like I recognize those,
exactly.
but I have no idea if they're good or not.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, Hen of the Woods is good.
I'm sure. I mean, if you're at a Ruth's Chris,
great,
I'm guessing that it's if you like mushrooms, just get the mushrooms. So, anyway.
I do love mushrooms. They just don't love me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now let's see here. The next day, Colvin tells Parenti about it. He says, they did well at first. They were excited, but they went right back into being corner kids the moment that they felt uncomfortable. And Parenti says, their lack of self-awareness is a huge barrier. But what's hilarious is that the group brags to the other kids about how great the dinner was, right? So they pretend like they were totally in their element and had no issues whatsoever.
Yeah.
So they didn't know their salad fork from whatever the fuck the other fork is for, so what?
I knew they'd be at a loss, but the extent of it. And I'm talking about feelings. Why are they feeling this plummet from master universe to abject fear to humiliated fury and no awareness of it?
Who says they're not aware? Maybe they just didn't acknowledge.
Wait, but my point is, where do you start with them? How do you get them to believe in themselves if they can't even admit their feelings about who they are and what they're doing in this world? They're not fools. They know exactly what we expect them to be.
I missed some meal for real, though.
It was hot, you know?
Yeah, part of your form, Mr. Cole?
May I take your coat, Mr. Bright?
That shit was tight.
Dreaming about that chocolate.
Oh my God.
Shit had like 56 layers, yo.
Chop people in the chest, Mr. Colvin. What?
Yeah, that part is definitely was a surprise for me, I think, the first time I saw it. But I like Colvin's line about they're not fools and they know what we expect of them.
Yes.
I just, that line hit me really hard because I feel like it is easy to kind of, especially when you're dealing with your own kids or, you know, dealing with any kids, like you might be telling them something, but you're underneath, because it feels like the right thing to say, but underneath your overall kind of demeanor or presentation of what you're saying paints a different picture.
Right.
And so I just feel like it's a good reminder that kids are not fools. Like they might not be very learned or experienced, but they definitely understand how to read people and kind of pick up on all these other messages that you're sending.
Yep, for sure. Okay, this is going to seem a little unrelated, but it definitely comes back to Namond. Okay, we have later on Carver and Colicchio are at the corner, and they're in their cars. They're going to catch some kids that are on the corner. The kids are passing time by tossing the football. I said, okay, we'll go after them on this next long pass. So they do. They come out. Everyone runs, but they get Kennard. Yeah. Right? Little Kennard. But he's too little to get arrested. He's only 8. My God. But what a mouth on him. Whew. That boy can really just do some FUs with the best of them. Carver stomps on the stash. He lets Kennard go. He says it's not worth charging him. Mm-hmm. Right, I bring this up because Kennard is with Namond's crew.
Right.
Where you going?
We're in the alleys. We get back in there, we can hunt him up.
No need. No more.
What about this one?
He isn't even bait. We toss him back. Unless you want to spend half the shift down at baby booking. Me? I don't want to spend the shift down evidence control.
And why the fuck even do this?
So as I can talk to him. I like to think that until the handcuffs actually fit, there's still talking to be done. Come here, man. Let's take a walk.
You shut the fuck up.
And so later, Carver is looking for them at Dennis's gym, right? And he finds them, he chews them out and warns them that if he ever catches them dealing again, and I don't like this, he's going to beat them before they go to Cheltenham, to juvie. I wish he did not have to use the threat of physical violence. I love Kennard. He don't think I can jail.
Yes.
So funny. I do love seeing Carver and Cuddy connect here, but this ends with Cuddy telling Carver who Namond's father was, and Carver's like, oh yeah, I helped put him in prison. And Cuddy says, same blood, not the same heart.
Yeah.
So
yep,
Namond's got so much to live up to. This is not good for him.
Yeah.
That wasn't you and your runs I saw down on Ventlo yesterday in Sling. Like this. Right. Because a gangster like yourself wouldn't set up such a weak-ass shop with no real lookouts, ground stash in plain view. This is me telling you all as plain as I can. You guys had your one chance. I see you out there second time, everyone takes a beating and goes to Cheltenham. Fair warning you just got.
Cheltenham for some drug charges? Please, man.
I'll write you up as a special. Don't think I won't do it.
Jab. Good. You don't think I can jail? Shit.
Man was banging, huh?
Yeah. He's one of yours, right?
He hang around the gym, mostly waiting on his boy Michael. He don't box or nothing. He ain't that kind, really. Not like his father.
Yeah, who's his father?
Dude named Weebay. Stoneheader, used to run with them box deals.
I know him. Shit, I locked him up in Philadelphia.
Yeah? Bay was my cut buddy. We jailed down Jesse. Anyway, name is from him. Same blood, but not the same heart.
I'm done my warm-ups, coach.
Yeah, we ready for the rain? Take care, man.
So I guess I might be jumping ahead, but or I'm not sure because
Yeah,
by the
I
way,
know.
let me say here that you're doing a terrific job of weaving all these together. Appreciate you navigating this. I would have just gone from the beginning of the show to the
I
end.
might have to next time.
Exactly. But in any case, the car
Yes.
that Donut gets out,
Yes.
gets the stolen.
Yes.
He's stolen from the
It
teacher. So
is-
fuck Donut. I
Yeah.
know you love him, but
Oh,
fuck that
no.
kid.
Yeah, I love Donut, but don't steal a teacher's car.
Yeah, I got some McNulty season 1 vibes from Carver, where he's like, I don't give a shit about the
Yeah,
drugs.
yeah.
Now it's the time to be able to
For
have
sure.
a discussion. So that was good. It's great. Carver is just really like his character arc in this.
Oh my
season
gosh,
is
I love
really
it so
terrific.
much. Makes me so happy.
Yeah, and then I think the last bit is that when Carver comes into the gym, the camera is on Dennis, and Carver is in the mirror in, basically blurry, and like he delivers most of his dialogue in as a reflection in out of focus in the mirror, and you get to see the
so
kids
crazy.
and Dennis watching,
Yeah.
which is just a really another fascinating choice. And
Yeah.
then and then Dennis walks over, which is of course important, right? Because it's like you want Dennis to come over and now connect with Carver again, and and so he kind of gets the lowdown, and of course like he's basically it's kind of confirming what he probably already thought, where Carver or Namond isn't boxing, he's just hanging out
Yes,
with
exactly.
Michael.
Yes.
And then I don't know if he kind of drew a conclusion about, well, Namond's slinging now, so he's he's now on this path, and I guess he knew that already from the interaction with Sherrod from the last episode.
Yeah.
But in any case, and then the connection between Carver and Dennis at the end, which I just thought was kind of funny. It's like these we talked about before, where it's like, not that Dennis is a criminal any longer, but it is kind of funny, cop and former criminal like commiserating over their shared experience with this one other criminal guy. I just thought that was kind of a funny little exchange. So anyway, it's just a good scene to kind of connect all these pieces together. So.
Right. Yeah, it makes me excited for maybe those two having a little, I don't know, maybe a little storyline that goes somewhere.
Yep.
It's nice to see them together. Okie dokie. Oh, Michael. Okay, time for Michael.
Okay.
No, sorry, time for Randy.
Okay.
Randy likes maths now. Okay, so Prez has the kids working in groups. He has an actual seating chart. Amazing. I always had a seating chart.
Okay.
They are doing measurements using tape measures. They're finding that their height and their arm spans match. Computer, however, with a couple others, and he is realizing he can buy bulk candy online and make more profit. Apparently those Koreans are marking up his candy too much.
Yep.
But the problem is he needs a credit card, and he does not have a credit card. I don't think Miss Anna is going to agree to that. So he and Dookie convince Prez to order it with his card. And Randy says, help me with my math, right? And Prez is like, oh, yeah, points on the package.
Yeah.
I know what this is all about. But they do convince him. Prez agrees as long as they will give him the cash up front. And he tells them, do not turn to drugs to raise the money. If you come in with a wad of bills tomorrow, there's going to be trouble. So they agree to that. And when they are outside, this is when Miss Thiessen looks around and she's not okay. She thinks her car has been stolen, and that was the car stolen by Donut. God, that naughty boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I probably should not admit this, but here it is anyway. So when Prez said points on the package, do you understand what that means?
I don't really. I mean, is that like what you profit off of on each package that you sell?
So I'll have to limit. I'll double check while
sell?
So it is. Now I've got to look it up because let me explain what I'm trying to type in points on the package. So what I picked up this time that I did not realize before was D'Angelo. Sorry, we're going to go all the way back to season 1, and he says, "My uncle still got me on salary." Right.
Okay.
Or hourly or whatever you want to call it. So it doesn't matter how much you sell.
Right.
You're
not
getting
like
the same
working on
rate.
commission.
Exactly.
Okay.
But points on the package is, I think, essentially, here's how much the package costs.
Yeah.
And then you can sell it for however much you want to sell it for. So Randy is wants to buy the candy wholesale. Exactly. And then he's going to sell it on top of that. And that's the way I took. And I was like, I had heard that phrase. I was kind of like, doesn't really matter. So I never really put much
Yeah.
thought to it. And that's the takeaway for me now. I was like, I couldn't believe it took me that long to kind of figure out what that
Interesting.
means.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that way, like back in the day when Avon's like, we're going to start talking about points on the package.
Yes.
You could make however much money you want if you can sell it at a price that people will
exactly.
pay.
So you might have a more profitable corner.
Yeah,
or
so
something where
I just thought that was pretty.
Okay.
I just couldn't believe I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
what it means. So I could have looked it
Interesting.
up, but anyway, I like it when I figure stuff out. On my
Yeah.
own, but anyway, but I liked how Prez didn't. I like just it's just if you're a supportive person, like you go figure out this problem, Randy.
Right.
Like you have to pay me up front.
Exactly.
But
I love he gives him a clear set of parameters.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like,
Exactly.
okay, if you can work within this,
Yeah.
then we'll do business.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So
it's good.
anyway, yeah. And sorry, I just realized I was kind of explaining it weirdly because basically you get the, just Prez would give him the candy and this was the proposal.
Yeah.
And then we'll pay you back after I sell it off.
Yeah.
Essentially. But
Right.
in this, and so that's what the points on the package is essentially like.
Right.
You get the package first, then if you make the money, then and you have a profit at the end, then you're good.
Yes.
But if you don't make enough, you still owe me however much the
Yes.
package is worth. So anyway. So yeah, but yeah, as you said, like the gives them parameters and go solve it.
Yep.
Yeah, and it actually it's funny because we'll talk, but it's like it reminded me of the Calvin problem with the dinks.
Yes.
It's like solve this problem. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I'm going to solve it this way. And you're like, wait, that's
Exactly.
not what I wanted you to solve it. But
Oh,
hey,
well.
man, did I solve it or not? So anyway.
Okay, let's see here. So after school, Randy and Dookie then pass a dice game going on in an alley, and Randy gets in on the game. And so he makes bets using what he has learned in class about probability. Dookie's looking on, he's smiling, and Randy is winning big. He wins enough to pay Prez. There is a nice guy who walks out with them. They are thankful that he's walking with them. They were a little worried about getting robbed, it sounds like. And, the guy's just like, hey, I mean, just let me know the next time you're playing dice.
Mhm,
He tells
mhm.
him it's all about the math,
Mhm.
the math that he learned at Tillman.
Right.
Yo, thanks for walking us up. I thought we was gonna get banked.
You ain't gonna bank us, is you? Shit, boy. You think I'm that ungrateful? I followed you through 10 shooters and made more money than I have in a month. Nah, I ain't gonna rob you. I just need to know next time you fade a dice game. You feel?
I mean, it's all about the math, the probabilities and all.
I ain't never seen you in a game before. Where you learn your game?
Edward Tillman Middle?
Shit.
And so he comes up with the wad of cash that he wasn't supposed to come up with that fast. So Prez isn't thrilled. He finds out that he gambled. Even more not thrilled. Randy says, I never touched the dice. I was just, saying evens and odds. But Prez buys the candy as promised.
Mhm.
And I loved, he kind of sends Randy to the other side of the computer. And then as he's entering his credit card information, and you see Randy smile over the top of the monitor. It makes me so happy for him. And now I'm really worried something's going to happen in the next episode to Randy.
Mhm.
It's a stupid freaking Herc.
Yeah, I mean that's the part that's the hardest, right?
Ugh.
Is that Randy is like finding the success.
Yes.
So I am not 100% sure
Okay.
of two actors that were in the dice game.
Oh, okay.
The guy who was the shooter at the beginning, I swear, was the same guy that was on the bike in the last episode.
Oh, no way.
It felt very close.
Okay.
But I am almost positive that the guy that walks off with them
Yeah.
was one of the guys that was friends with D'Angelo in season 2.
Oh.
I'm almost positive. So
Oh
I
my
got to
gosh.
double check that. So,
Okay.
but I'm looking it up. But in the meantime, which I thought was kind of interesting duality or kind of thing. So anyway,
Yeah.
and then just this is not a life lesson, but I'll let everybody know this. So in craps, there is the don't pass, don't come line. It's all the way in the corner, and actually those are probably your best bets because
Okay.
if you think about the house always has the advantage.
Okay.
This is basically saying the house is going to win here. And so the idea is that, without going too much, if the house is going to win, you're betting on that. So you can use that strategy. The key though, is that if you use that strategy, do not celebrate because you are basically rooting against everybody else on the board.
yeah.
So just a little
Right.
thing. So when
Etiquette
Randy is doing the pass, no pass,
Yeah.
half the time he's rooting against the shooter, which
Okay.
so you just got to be bet about that. So,
Okay.
bet how you want, but just
Right.
celebrate accordingly.
Okay.
So
Good to know. All right. Noted.
Yeah.
For the next time I play craps, which
Yeah.
will probably be never.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall I go on to Michael?
Sure.
Okay. So, Stepdad Stress. Michael is still upset by the return of Bug's father. Tells him next time he says, "What are you still doing here?" He says, "Your mom wants me here." And Michael says, "Yeah, she wants you and she wants the pipe."
Mm-hmm.
Bug says he needs his dad to be there because he needs an adult to sign off for him to get glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Bug's dad kind of says, "What's the deal with you? You can't forgive somebody." But, Michael still is just adamant. He will not let this man touch him. And for that matter, he is not going to give up the DSS card to him either, at least not right now.
Mm-hmm.
What are you still doing here? Ain't nobody want you here.
Your mama want me.
Yeah, you in the pipe.
Shouldn't talk about your mama like that, Mike.
Hey, Daddy, see my volcano?
Bug, go upstairs.
Bug need me too. Saturday, right? Bug need me.
My teacher say I gotta need glasses. I gotta have an adult with me. Pick them up, sign for them.
Bug, go upstairs to your room.
Ice cold, boy. Where you be? Ain't got a forgiveness to your soul.
Man, fuck you.
Watch your mouth. You big, but not big enough. Now, where's that DSS card? Your mama said that come to me.
Nothing left on this month's check anyway.
Before the first of the month, then.
Michael goes and I think he's picking up or taking the DSS cash out from a machine.
Right, exactly.
He comes out later. He asks Randy and Dookie, what happens if he calls social services? And they said, "Are you going to call on your mom?" He says, "No, I'm going to call on this guy that she brought home who won't leave." But they know who it is. They know that it's his stepdad. Randy says, if you call social services, they're going to separate you and Bug, not just remove the stepdad. Dookie suggests talking to Presbo. He's pretty cool. He's really nice. Well, yeah, but then I'm going to have to see the school social worker who is Mr. Rottenneck, the alcoholic. Oh my God, it sounds terrible.
Yep.
If we're going to meet Mr. Rottenneck later. Then Randy says, "How about Cuddy, Dennis, right?" And Michael goes off. He's just like, no, he's just too friendly. Like he uses a gay slur there. Why is he got to be so friendly and yada, yada, yada. I mean, if this, if it was not clear before what had happened to Michael, it's certainly clear now.
Yeah.
Yo, Dookie. You ever call social services on your mother?
What?
I don't know. I just want to know what happens if you call social services on somebody.
You want to report your mother?
She brung someone home. He won't leave.
You don't want to call social services. They get to looking into things. They can put you on a group home. Just put you on bug up even.
But I don't want us to leave. I just want him to leave.
Talking about Bug's daddy, ain't you?
Maybe you ought to talk to a teacher about this, man. Mr. Presbo is real good about stuff.
Mr. P did say I could go talk to the school social worker.
Mr. Robinette, he an alcoholic.
Oh, what about that boxing guy? Mr. Cuddy.
What's wrong with Cuddy?
I don't know. Like, he just too friendly, That shit creep me out, man. Like he's some type of faggot or something.
Nah, not Cuddy, man. He be all up in the women. Yo, don't you see how he be doing?
That don't mean shit. Them faggots would be just like that, too. And I don't know, he just too friendly, Everybody just too motherfucking friendly.
Should I keep going?
I mean, just, yeah, as you said, I just think I gotta sit on it for a minute, which is that can you imagine being in a world where surrounded by adults or there are adults everywhere and you can't trust any of them?
And you can't trust any of them. There's not one that you can turn to who will help you in a way that will not further F up your life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And, as you said, I think before, I think in the last episode that this guy is the stepdad is, Michael is taller than he is.
Yeah.
And he's kind of, about the same size, really. And yet when that guy stepped to him, he turned away and he was, just, very intimidating.
Yes.
So
Flinching,
it's just, man,
yeah.
it's just one of those things where you just don't know where to turn. And yet it is a situation that you cannot stay in, and so it's just, you're sitting there and you're like, go talk to Prez. Like Prez was offering to help, and Dennis is offering to help, and it's a positive influence. Go talk to one of those guys,
I know.
and they will help
even
you.
I think given how Prez handled Randy,
Yeah.
Not wanting him to get chewed up by the system, like you could imagine him doing the same thing for Michael, like trying to find a way for the boys to stay together and be in a safe situation. But yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, he's out of options. Michael and Dookie walk to Marlo's courtyard. Michael is allowed inside. He is expecting Chris, but instead he finds himself speaking directly to Marlo, and he tells him, I got a problem I can't bring to anyone else. Yeah. So he's going to be soldiering up, I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just a couple of notes about this, which is that, it really does feel, what's the word, like a Rubicon for Michael. He looks back at Dookie. My heart kind of breaks for Dookie because Dookie is with Michael and he's trying to support him, and then Michael has to go alone, and they're kind of now separated, which is unfortunate.
Yes.
And just sad for Dookie, I think, because he needs all the support he can get as well. And then when he walks up and he's talking to Marlo, there are a couple of things that happen. So first of all, Snoop is there, and I don't know what they did, but Snoop looks like there's something about the way that Snoop looks where she looks, I wouldn't say sympathetic, but there's something about it. It's almost like, I think I mentioned this, she's got this like angelic look to her.
Yeah.
And it just, I'm not sure what it is. She's wearing a white, sweatshirt, and it just, the lighting or whatever it is, but she just really looks like it's a very softened look
Yes, I agree.
to her.
Yes.
And then Marlo is looking at Michael, and Michael's kind of he looks up at him and makes eye contact, and his face kind of like breaks a little bit too.
Yeah.
And then, I know you're going to talk about Omar, but like when Omar says right after this that he's just a kid, I feel like they all look at it like that same way. Like, this is a vulnerable person.
Yeah.
They want to treat it. I get the sense they all want to treat him with a little bit of like, support on the way, but they're also like, okay, now you're going to come work for us. And that's going to be that for you. So anyway, it's a very interesting scene to kind of rewatch again and just get that, really see all the different actors like play, a part in this transition for this kid.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's sad though.
It is so sad. Yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's see here to teaching to the test.
Yep.
Oh, it's the worst. Okay. At a staff meeting, Donnelly announces that every teacher needs to prep students for the reading portion of the statewide tests. It is some very boring, very repetitive material. They are kind of actively encouraged not to teach comprehension, just, to do whatever they can to boost the scores. They are going to teach the questions directly. And not only that, but everyone, regardless of subject area, has to teach the kids the language arts test questions. So Prez is not teaching math anymore. He's teaching language arts. Prez is sitting next to Samson. He compares it to juking the stats in the police department. I love Grace Sampson's, what she says here. I mean, this could have been the epigraph. Wherever you go, there you are.
Sure.
So later, Prez, he's trying to teach the kids how to answer these questions. I mean, like, he is spoon feeding it to them, like literally like coming up with the exact phrases that they need to write down when their time comes. But I mean, they are just super bored. They are reading a Greek legend that is probably not at all, relevant to them. They still don't understand the test questions. And then later, when Prez looks over the answers, he can tell, like, some of them have just written the beginning of the prompt as they were instructed without anything afterwards.
Right.
I mean, it's bad. And, he tells Samson to hell with it. This is not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. One of the lines that one of the answers I read was something like this: the above stated facts lead me to conclude the end. It's like the answer, which I thought was hilarious.
The end.
It led me to conclude
Gave you everything
smiley
that you
face.
wanted.
Yeah, exactly. So I gotta ask you, like, you've had to teach subject matter like this in the past, right?
Yes.
Did
Yeah.
this-
I mean, not this bad, but
Okay.
I have had to teach in ways that I felt like we were teaching just for them to do well on the test,
Mhm.
and that nobody really cared about what science they were learning,
Yeah.
or how engaged they were, or
Yeah.
how good their foundational knowledge was.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a. I guess I'm gonna step on my life lesson here, but it's kind of like you have to if you unpack it and you try to figure out like what are we doing this for?
Yeah.
Then and who is the one essentially keeping track of all this?
Right.
It's it gets you to kind of a depressing place.
It sure
And
does.
I just drew a connection now between Colvin and the kids at the restaurant and Prez and this lesson, in that like he's kind of going through the motions and trying to get the kids to kind of like find their way to understand this.
Yeah.
But of course everything is all wrong, right? The
Right.
kids could not care less about this or
No.
anything like that. And I think in some ways too, like the Donnelly presentation to the teachers is kind of the same thing, where they all know that this is some stupid charade that's
Yes.
happening, but they have to go through the motions anyway.
Yes.
And then of course that shit rolls downhill, right? To the kids in the streets.
Yeah. And her Donnelly just kind of keeping the line the way she
Yeah,
does.
exactly.
Ooh, man, it's
Yeah.
kind of tough to keep respect for her with
Yeah.
her,
Yep.
doing that. But I guess I understand. Got to get your funding.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. And then if you don't, everybody's screwed.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to go to Aunt Kima.
Okay.
Okay. So Kima is very happy to see how well homicide overtime pay is. And Freeman and Landsman are there. They say, hey, wait till you have court overtime. It's going to be even better. They ask her what she's going to do with it. And she says, pay down some debt.
Mhm.
Okay. We don't know what the debt is. I was kind of like, what kind of debt does Kima have?
Yep.
Well, we find out because she next visits Cheryl and baby Elijah at the apartment she used to live in. And it's that familiar couch there, but now the whole place is covered in toys. And, she's looking at the whole place, and she's kind of like, oh, these little guy's taking over, but it looks good. It really looks good. And as she's saying this, she hands over the overdue child support. So she's catching up, appreciates Cheryl not kind of coming after her about it. And you can tell that she's kind of hoping that maybe they can reconnect or something, like maybe a little bit more. But that's when Cheryl's new partner, Nancine, shows up. And we find out they have company coming because Nancine passed the bar, which is what she wanted Kima to do. She wanted Kima to get her law degree.
Very good.
And
Very
didn't
good, detective.
happen. Yep.
Mhm.
And Kima makes a joke about it, something that people she works with can't do, pass a bar. Cheryl laughs, right? You can tell that they still connect on their sense of humor. Nancine doesn't.
Right. I was wondering if you caught
I
that.
know, yeah. And Kima just leaves quietly, and Cheryl says, to Elijah, wave goodbye to Aunt Kima.
I see the little man that took over the living room. Good for him.
You know how it goes.
Well, I'm just messing with you. Place looks great. Even the toys look like they belong.
This is
This month and 2 going back. I'm just trying to catch up. Appreciate you not coming after me for it.
knocking over liquor stores now.
Overtime. From homicide. Stays like this and I won't have problem coming up with my share.
Kima.
Oh, this ain't please take me back. But a deal's a deal. Right?
Hey, I'm home. Hey, Elijah.
Hey.
Kima, this is Nancine Owens. Sorry, the place is a mess. You could stay for dinner, but tonight we have people coming over. It's a kind of a celebration, actually.
Yeah?
I passed the bar this week.
Huh. Congratulations. Most of the guys I work with have a problem with that.
With what?
Passing the bar.
guess I better be going.
Thanks for coming past.
Let's make a band.
Yeah. Nice meeting you. Elijah.
Huh?
Say bye to Aunt Kima.
Bye. Uh-oh.
And that's it. So was it, I don't think we ever confirmed, like, is it Kima's biological child and Cheryl was just the uterus, or is it Cheryl's baby through and through?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Actually. I don't think they never mention it.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that it was
Just all Cheryl.
Yeah, I'm not.
That's the easier way to do it.
I
for
would
sure.
think. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I just was gonna say, like, I feel like, outside of our kids,
Yeah.
Elijah might be the cutest kid I've
my
ever
God,
seen.
he's so
my God, his
adorable.
little bye,
Oh,
yeah, so cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, I think the only other thing that I noticed this time was Kima is looking, her body is facing Elijah in the living room, but she's looking back at Cheryl, which I thought was an interesting posture.
Yeah,
to take, so
for sure.
I don't know if there's more to it than that, but anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bye-bye, Andre. Here we go. Last storyline. Okay. And again, this is weaving in some stuff with Prop Joe and
Mhm.
Marlo and Omar.
Mhm.
Okay. Prop Joe tells Marlo that Herc, the guy who has been going after him, is in major crimes. And you better be careful because this is the same unit that took down Avon and Kentel Williams and Stringer Bell with the wiretaps. And he advises Marlo that, dumping your burners every 2 weeks is not good enough, that he himself has stopped using cell phones altogether. He shows him some courthouse papers. I guess he got them from the Freedom of Information Act, and tells him, just shows him kind of like that this is the stuff that has Stringer Bell's name on it.
Mm-hmm.
So Marlo is appreciative and they take off. They immediately toss their phones out of the SUV.
Yep.
Okay. Omar, in the meantime, is getting released from county jail, and Bunk is waiting. He's his motherfucking savior. He would like him to know. He thinks Omar is not being grateful enough. Omar says, okay, well, I'll find out what's going on. I'm going to get some intel. And Bunk says, no. If you want to, get me back, don't kill anybody ever again. And Omar agrees. And Bunk offers him a ride to the train. He's like, you got to get out of Baltimore. But Omar says he's staying. Baltimore is all he knows. And a man got to live what he knows.
You my ride?
I'm your motherfucking savior is what I am.
I told y'all Andre was lying on me, yo.
I didn't do it for you. Fact is, if I could work back on whatever cases I already caught, you might be going right back inside.
I know. So who did kill that delivery girl? No, it wasn't Andre. His blood don't run that kind of cold. Where you getting this package from? Saying I could go back to the crib and bear up, find some things out for if you want me to.
You want me, motherfucker.
I'm saying I know I do, man.
And if you want to pay down any part of this debt, you know what you got to do for me? No more bodies. No more fucking bodies from you. No more comebacks or get-evens on this. No more killing. You owe me your word.
All right, man. Nobody's on me.
You really want to ease my mind, you let me drive you down to Aberdeen rail station, put you on a northbound train.
Nah, man. Baltimore's all I know. You know what it is, right, homie? Man gotta live what he know, right?
So, yeah. Anything you want to say before I move along?
Yeah. Did it remind you of the interaction with them on the bench?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it's that kind of dynamic between the two of them is just it's so compelling.
Yeah, I do. I love watching Bunk try to give these come to Jesus moments for Omar, and Omar being affected by them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just goes and he just Wendell Pierce, he's just like breathing through his nose, and he's like
Yes.
just kind of almost out of breath, and
Yes.
just because he's so enraged about Omar, and like here's Omar like trying to make things right, you know,
Right.
and
Yes.
just trying to, you know,
Yeah.
essentially I'm on your side here, but
Right.
you know, Bunk just doesn't trust him at all. So it's just a fascinating thing. And then of course I did just want to mention that, like, just for continuity, the sign over the fence said Hartford County Correctional Facility, which is
did it?
where Nadine, who was the attorney? God dang it.
Eileen?
Eileen, sorry.
Yeah,
Eileen
Eileen
Nathan. Yes,
Nathan,
yeah.
yeah.
Not Nadine. Yeah, Eileen Nathan. And Nadine is Bunk's wife. Eileen Nathan, like, promised to send him, so which I thought was
Yeah.
a nice little bit of continuity. They made sure they had the right
Yes.
spot. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay. I didn't notice that.
Yep.
All right. Well, Chris and Snoop have finished up chasing off all the New York dealers. Partlow has learned that Omar was moved out of city jail, and Marlo says that the charges were dropped. And since Andre has closed up shop, they realize that he is the one that must have snitched, and he has now gone into hiding. Marlo suggests that he could, quote, back up on them all. And so the conclusion they come to, the New York work is done. The problem with Andre is job number one.
Sign of the motherfucker Andre. Store been padlocked a week. He ain't even calling for his re-up.
Check the man at the jail.
Yeah, people say Omar ain't even been on the tier for 2 weeks. So he in Seg someplace, but they got him in county lockup.
Well, the charge has been dropped. This cocksucker sprung. My man is backing up on his story. I mean, he could back up on y'all.
I'm on it.
How about the New York boys?
We dropped 5 of them. The West went to ground. Drive through East Baltimore, you don't even see a Baltimore nigga with a Yankee cap. Want us to stay on that too?
I talked to the fat man, but I think we're done there. The shit with Andre, job one.
So, Chris and Snoop hit Andre's house and scare the bejesus out of, I don't know, his girlfriend or his wife.
Yep.
She swears that she knows nothing. I mean, they even shoot her bed near her head. And she says, you know, he said, if he told me where he was, then I would end up telling you. So they believe her and leave.
Yep.
Thank goodness for her.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, Andre,
Yeah.
not that dumb.
No.
Yeah.
No. He is a little bit smart.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Andre has no idea that Prop Joe and Marlo work together,
Right.
apparently, because he goes to Prop Joe for protection. And what is the incentive for Prop Joe to give him protection? It would be a share of his business. Now, Joe says you should be going to D.C. or Philly, but it's the same thing as Omar. Andre doesn't know
Exactly.
anyone there, right? So Joe says, I'll give you $2,000 and a ride to, you know, up north, where I guess maybe he knows someone. And Andre protests this amount, but Joe says, you know, you're not in a place to bargain. And so this is the offer for Andre. Not good
Yep.
on more than one account.
Yeah.
And I ain't want to put no charges on no one. See, they made me do that. And now they're going to be mad at me because it ain't stick.
Who be they?
People I'm getting the package from.
I'm asking who?
Boy named Marlo. It's big on the west side. You heard of him?
Vaguely recall the name.
So I just need to chill for a while till they remember how to forget.
So now you come over east side and expect me to hide you. Why is it that every Baltimore nigga think that running the fuck away means crossing downtown? Shit, you ought to be in New York or Philly or some shit.
No, see, I know that. It's just that I don't know no one outside of B-More. And I was just hoping, let's say, trade on my store, you could maybe, you know, front me some cash. Get me out of town to people you know. I mean, I come to the east side to you. So to me, west side motherfuckers are with Marlo.
You know what the problem with these hair machines? They're too cheap to begin with. Some people think for what it's worth to fix it, make the shit work right. You might as well dump him. Get another. $2,000 and a free ride north for the store and its contents.
Store worth way more, Joe.
It depends, don't it?
Omar and Ronaldo stake out Andre's store. They are planning only to scare him so that he can keep his promise to Bunk.
Mhm.
You know, they put a pistol in his face. That man has some explaining to do, but Andre's not there. So Omar says, I love this. Tip on out.
Yep.
I got to use that. Tip on out.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand. You tell the man you're not gonna kill no one.
I gave my word on that.
The fuck we doing back here then, Papa?
I can still put a gun in Andre's face, right? That man got some explaining to do. It's dead out here, y'all. Tip on out.
All right, and stop me anytime you want, Chris.
No, I mean, it all moves pretty fast. I
Yeah.
don't think there's actually that, I mean, the only thing I would just mention now, since I have the opportunity, is Andre's line of, until they remember how to forget.
Yes.
How do you come up with a line like
I
that?
know, right?
Just so great.
That is good.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, and of course, that's where we get the epigraph, right? Where,
Yeah.
So Prop Joe's saying it's easier to, but just get a new one than buy
Yep.
another. Which makes me think, like, I hadn't been thinking about this throughout, but I guess we'll have to talk about it at the end. It was like, where did that kind of play out throughout?
Yeah.
And because I think the other part is like, know your place, is, we'll have to talk about that as well, I think. I won't sidetrack us just yet, but I'll sidetrack us later. How about
Okay,
that?
great. Great. Okay. All right. So later, Marlo is paying Prop Joe for his supply, and it looks like he's expecting some kind of a discount for dealing with the New York dealers.
Mhm.
But Prop Joe says the discount is already built into this amount.
Mhm.
But hey, and this is where Slim Charles kind of steps in too. Something you want is coming back to you soon,
Mhm.
free of charge. And we know this is Andre's giving
Yep.
up Andre.
Mhm.
We want 4 to raw. 275 large right there.
For 4, it should be 3.
I'm charging 5 a head on them New York boys. That about to go on rate.
Still want us on that?
Nah. Seems like they got the message and went the fuck on.
True that. Delroy has all of the Monument Street corners back.
All right, then. I'll add us for the next package.
You remember when I told you about the co-op meant we all stand together, doing for each other when we can? You remember that? Well, the price of 4 raw is $300. And your work on them New York boys already been factored into the price, you see?
On the other hand, we got something that you wanted that's coming back to you. Free of charge.
Someone you looking for. Co-op mean what it sound like, dog. You happy to do for me? I'm happy to do for you.
So Slim Charles picks up Andre. He doesn't take him out of town. He brings him to the Vacants. And who's there? Partlow and Snoop. And they are waiting there with the plastic and the lime. Andre begs Partlow to please shoot him somewhere where his people can find him. He pleads more than once, says, please, don't leave me here. Nobody will find me. Chris says, no, here is good. He loads the gun and they march inside. And that is, I guess, the end of Andre.
Yeah.
Omar and Ronaldo later are watching the plaza where Marlo hangs out. They are hoping to spot him, and they recognize him from the robbery of the card game.
Mhm.
Now they understand why Omar was framed, and this is where Ronaldo worries when he sees Marlo meeting with Michael, but that's where Omar says,
Mhm.
that's just a kid.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Yep.
That's the episode.
Yeah, I'm trying to think now. How do you think Omar and Ronaldo figured out where Marlo was?
I don't know. I mean, they have a lot of, Omar, I think, has a lot of
Oh.
connections that could tell him.
Yeah.
Along with Butchie.
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
them.
that's right. That's right. I mean, he would have right. He exactly. He would have said who's Marlo, asked around, and he would have been pointing in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's interesting to. I guess he went to Andre first because that would have been the most direct line.
Right.
But instead, because Andre wasn't there, they just figured it out a different way. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, just a quick thing. Like, so know your place. There are a couple of examples of that, right? Like the kids at the restaurant, right? Like, not that they should not venture out, but, you know, it feels like they were out of place in that spot.
Yeah.
Omar saying, Baltimore's all I know. Andre saying, Baltimore's all I know, kind of thing. I guess that's, they kind of know where they're from.
Right.
So that's kind of, I guess that's it. I'm trying to think if there's other examples in the Prez kind of with the schools.
Yeah.
You know, with his class.
Yes.
And I think also, actually, I think you could probably talk about it in almost everything, because Carcetti talking to Burrell, like, and Burrell almost like subtly saying, know your place, Carcetti, like,
right.
You can't fire me kind of thing. So that's interesting too.
Okay,
so
yes, I would agree. That is a connection too.
Yeah. And then, but then the epigraph, I'm kind of might as well. I'm trying to think of like.
Yeah.
Might as well dump him again. Another.
Dump him. You're trying to dump Burrell.
Yeah. Instead of fixing the. Oh yeah, that's what it is. It's
just,
let's just solve the test kind of comes into where it's just like just solve the test problem instead of actually solving the bigger problem.
Yeah.
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 So that. Yeah. Okay. I'm good with that. try to make a connection or two. So
enough of a connection.
Yeah. Okay, well, that gets us to the end. So now we get into some of our categories.
Okay.
So we will go into the music first. There was actually quite a lot of music here. But, I'm not sure if there was a ton of symbolism here. Oh, I'm sorry. But before we get into that, I did want to mention a couple of things. So I did like Colvin's line that they wanted to get models for the kids that they would know. But he said the Fayette Street Stash House was all sold out, which I thought was a great line.
I love that too.
And then the officer that arrests Kennard is Officer Brown. He says, shut the fuck up, Spanky. And then, as you said, you could hear Kennard say, you shut the fuck up.
Yes. Oh my God, he does.
An 8-year-old saying shut the fuck up. Yes. But Officer Brown, I think, has been in every season.
Okay.
But only in like these small parts. So he's the guy that finds Gant.
Okay.
The very first episode.
Oh, wow.
And then he's also one of the police officers that McNulty has weighed on Wallace.
Okay.
And then I can't remember if he was in season 2, but he was in season 3.
Okay.
I know for sure. And now he's here.
Oh,
so I just thought that and his name
All
is
right.
actually Bobby Brown, which I thought was kind of funny. So
Bobby Brown.
And then
Okay.
But anyway, so that's that. And then so let's get into our music. Picture Perfect by Chameleonaire was playing when Joe meets with Marlo and wants them to stay off the cell phones, which I'm not sure what Picture Perfect was, except that the cameras was the previous kind of discussion. Get Ready by Mully Man is when Marlo and Chris are talking outside about Andre. Oh, and by the way, that's I forgot about this too, but I'll mention it now. So, Marlo says Andre's backing up on his story, which means he might back up on y'all, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
Because it feels like he's like drawing the line that like I'm not exposed here as long as you guys don't expose me.
Right.
But he's not saying you're with us. We're together.
With us. Yeah, exactly.
So it's just a curious little turn of phrase. I'm probably
like
reading
it's
more
your
into
responsibility.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe it's a motivation thing, but anyway. SOA by Alexis Ifido is when Omar and Ronaldo are scoping out Andre's store. So clearly Ronaldo is in charge of the radio when they're in the car. Don't Leave Me This Way by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes is when Old Face Andre is visiting Prop Joe's shop.
Okay.
So that's kind of that's a little symbolism for it. I Cover the Waterfront is what Billie Holiday is singing, because I think the restaurant is on the waterfront.
Yeah,
so
that
there
makes
you go.
sense.
Goodbye Is All We Have by Alison Krauss and Union Station is when Cedric and Rhonda are at home discussing his new promotion. So again, Rhonda, she was playing like Sheryl Crow, I think, so she's definitely got a type of music. Poppin' My Collar by 3-6 Mafia is what Namond is playing on the radio when they get back in the car. And Lord Give Me a Sign by DMX is when Slim Charles delivers Andre to Chris and Snoop. So a little bit of symbolism in there every once in a while, but otherwise not a ton.
Okay.
All right, killer cameos. Anybody stand out to you?
The girlfriend or wife of Old face Andre.
That's who I have as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Honorable mention to the guy who walked Randy and Dookie off. But I think that might have been his second appearance. So he would. But Andre's wife won anay. I could not find a name for her. I spent just kind of scrolling in.
No, she does Terrified really.
Absolutely. Yeah. That whole bit that's crazy.
Oof.
Okay, which gets us to the Chris patronizes Ellie for the next 15 minutes, also known as Mr. Nugget's Life Lessons. Okay. Anything from you today?
I do. I mean, we don't get there, but I do like Prez standing his ground or beginning to stand his ground and just saying, this is what I came here for. And I don't know. I mean, we talk about principles a lot, and I just think this is another example of having to stick with your principles and do the right thing and just F him.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Like, however he ends up doing this, maybe he has to lie or something like that. He's got the greater good in mind. And when it comes to kids, that's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well
so
said.
That's
stand on principle.
There you go.
Good. Okay. Well, I can't, it's 100% on the money. The ones I had were just a reminder: casinos and all forms of gambling generally prey on poor people. So, it's a shame. It is one of those things.
Right.
And it's easy revenue, but unfortunately the long-term effects are bad. So I would generally oppose any kind of unfettered gambling. So anyway, so you called out earlier when Daniels and Rhonda, Daniels initially agrees with Rhonda, like, would you mind if I'm there?
Yeah.
So just as a general rule, state kind of the affirmative or assert what you mean or what you want, as opposed to here's what I don't want.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So just it's a better form of communication. I think almost 100%.
Yes.
Okay, this one is going to be tricky. So I hope I land this one, because last episode I just absolutely mangled it. But so teach to the test is the issue that I have is, I think ultimately that is us as a voting populace. I've said this before.
Right.
It's just like, well, what are our test scores?
Yeah.
Right. We as a voting populace. Now look, Ellie, if I asked Ellie about how to understand the school systems, what is a good indication of success, you could explain it to me very thoroughly, and I would be very interested to hear all that. The problem is that most people don't care to get that much detail. They want the soundbite answer.
Right.
And if we were to say, no, I don't want the soundbite, I care about schools, I need to understand everything, then we would affect change from the people that are trying to sell, hey, I've got the solution.
Yeah.
Right? The whole No Child Left Behind was, how do we make it look like we're teaching? It wasn't like, are we actually teaching?
Right.
But everybody was like, No Child Left Behind.
Right.
That's 4 words or whatever, and it makes perfect sense. You're like, does it really? Anyway. So,
Well, especially if you're not going to back it up with extra funding or
100%.
more reasonable ratios of teachers to students. And,
I can only imagine how you must feel about that.
Oh God. It's terrible.
And it's almost like it's what Press says, ComStat.
Yeah, exactly. And it's an exercise in futility, right?
Exactly.
Like, seriously.
So that's why you got to stand on principle. It's like, Prez might get fired, but he's gonna, if he does, he's gonna go out doing what he said he was gonna do. And then the last thing I just mentioned, this is the hardest thing. I still struggle with this. Is Herc, be aware of your blind spots. Herc doesn't know how to. That he doesn't know how to.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and it's like you go through life and you have to like navigate, and sometimes you don't realize you have a blind spot until it's too late, and so
he doesn't get what he sucks at.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
he has no awareness of it.
So anyway, that's what I got. So
okay.
I mean, it's almost like, but I think what I'm coming to realize, Ellie, is that in these episodes, everything is just, it's so rich. It's almost like I'm going to pull out everything, but like, just like, did you watch the episode? Because there's a life lesson everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Every 5 seconds. Life lesson.
So anyway, but that's the best I got. But I think you're standing on principle 100%. So.
I like that one.
Okay. All right. I did want to mention before we jump into the predictions, we talked about the No Child Left Behind or the Teach to the Test. That one, that certainly still feels like it's relevant today.
Oh my gosh,
ever.
yeah.
And then I also think that the politics and the almost like the gridlock that Carcetti experienced right away also still exists.
Yeah.
You know, we're seeing it at a much larger scale at the federal level, I think.
Right.
You know, where it's just like, well, we're not going to do what you say, even if it's a good idea or even if we agree with it. It's just like, you guys came up with that, so
yes,
screw you.
Yeah.
It's just sucks.
Yeah, I would add too with, I mean, the Department of Education basically being erased.
Yeah.
You know, that this is going to be even more difficult for having good standards, right? Like I believe in standards. I believe in assessment. Like you have to know if whatever you're trying to do works, but without some kind of central control and each state up to whatever doing whatever they want for that, that's concerning.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Okay, well.
Yep. Go to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, for real. Okay, well, let's get us to something more exciting, which is your predictions.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so what do you got?
Okay, let me see here. I think, okay. Let's start with Herc and Bubbles. Oh my God. I hope Bubbles is okay. I wonder if Bubbles is going to like try to appeal to somebody else and also share what happened with Herc. Like maybe Bubbles will go to McNulty or something like that, or Carver. I also think Sydnor is going to potentially like go to Daniels or something about Herc. I don't know.
Okay.
Something bad is going to happen with Herc for sure.
okay.
I'm feeling like Herc is going to get in trouble hopefully for his terrible policing.
Okay.
Is this what I want to happen, or is this what I think will happen? This is what always is the
Why not
conundrum.
both?
Well, that would be nice. Okay, let me see here. I think Randy's going to get beat up. There's somebody at schools, guys at school are going to find out he's a snitch. We know that that's a huge deal already because Michael asked him that one time, like, why did they let you out of the, of suspension? So we know it's a huge deal. It's going to get out there. He's going to get beat up. I think Prez is going to come up with some kind of a scheme to teach the kids when, Donnelly's not around or whatever, like something. He's going to come up with something.
Okay.
Let me see here. I think Omar's going to start working on a way to get Marlo arrested.
Okay.
If he can't take things into his own hands, he's going to try to find out a way to get Marlo in trouble.
Okay.
So he's going to start kind of working on some kind of a plan for that.
Okay.
And let's see here. I think things are going to keep on going better in the special class.
Okay.
Just more improvement, like the kids coming around some more.
Okay.
I'm not sure about the thing with Burrell and Rawls and Daniels. I don't have anything for that yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that we see is now this tension between Burrell and Rawls.
Yeah,
really,
exactly.
So,
So I'm just not sure. Yeah, I'm just not sure what will happen there.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 right now. Let's see. Anything?
Okay. I think Michael's going to try to kill his stepfather.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's going to happen this episode, but I think he's going to do everything he can now to get a gun.
Okay.
Or, in some way to either threaten him and get him out of there or to actually get him killed.
Okay.
Or kill him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I will let you off the hook there. That's you pretty much covered everything at this point. So
Okay.
I think. Yeah. Okay.
Stressed out, man.
I know. This is Ellie. We're 9 episodes in, and I've been thinking about this. As we were doing this season, it's a fascinating experience for me because, I talked about this at the beginning, but like this was, I think I'd seen the end of the series, and then I came back through and watched this, and it's just So my connection to this season is very different from all the other ones.
Yeah.
And I think that what I'm sort of struggling with is that it's just so heavy all the time.
It is.
So it's hard to kind of like, I've been feeling kind of off kilter this whole time
Yeah.
because it just feels like every episode.
Yeah, my gosh, when kids are involved, you're just like, oh no.
Yeah, I
no,
mean,
no,
and like,
please don't let that happen.
yeah, we talked about like there were episodes at the beginning where with like the security guard where you're like, that there's this like really awful story that's about to happen, and so you're just like, I gotta get past that, and then you're like, wait, there's this, Bubs and his tormentor, you're like, oh my god, that's out there too, and then Herc is being a complete piece of shit, you're like, god damn it, there is you just can't catch your breath.
I know,
because everything sucks.
It is, it does, it's heavy.
Yeah,
it's heavy, but this is also like, I can see why people say this is their favorite season.
Oh my god,
this is easily my favorite season so far.
Well,
so,
well,
yeah.
Well, in that case, I will not delay you any longer, and you can keep watching.
Okay.
So
I'll be watching as soon as this is done.
Right, exactly. Got to find out if Poot gets burnt again.
Yeah, exactly. He will. He will. Let's face facts. He will.
Yeah. All right. Well, friends, we will be back next week to cover season 4, episode 10, Misgivings. Okay. But until then, Ellie, thank you as always. Terrific episode.
Thanks, Chris.
And we will see you all next week.
All right. Bye, everybody.
The Wired and Rewired podcast is Ellie Peterson and me, Chris Aronchek. Our theme song is Nice Vibes by Neon Beach. Want to holler at us? You can email us at wiredandrewired@gmail.com or hit us on the burner at 240-488-0060 to leave us a voicemail. We're Wired and Rewired on all the socials. And of course, if you like the show, please give us a rating and review on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. It helps other Wire fans discover the show. And until next time.
Wherever you go, there you are.